question. Why, when most of us find that, do we start to self-sabotage? Why do people, and I'm talking about not just lesbians, but just everybody in general, everybody's looking for the one. Everybody's looking for that perfect partner. And if they find it, all they want to do is start nitpicking and going into the past and finding reasons to sabotage the relationship.
Sapphics and allies, you're listening to Queer Women Rising. That's women with an X because we are inclusive here. When we hear the stories of queer women who have gone before us, we see evidence that there's nothing we can't do. And yes, we can too. It's time for you to level up in life, in love, and step into your most authentic, abundant reality. You won't be the same after this episode. It's your turn to let go of good for greatness. Your best life is now loading. Let's rise. Let's rise.
Let's rise.
Let's rise.
Let's rise.
Let's rise.
Let's rise. You rang. Welcome to Queer Women Rising. I'm so excited that you're here for the live recording, my very first episode. This is about to get real. Okay, on the show, I'm going to be bringing you two types of episodes. One, deep dive interviews with badass queer women, where we celebrate their life stories, passions, purposes. Together, we unpack their journeys, their relationships, everything that lights them up. Then there's the Phone a Lesbian Friend episodes, where it's just you, me, and a whole lot of tea. Listeners like you call in and share your dating dilemmas. And I dish out my unfiltered advice. Phone a lesbian friend helps sometimes because boy do I need the help because I'm not qualified for this. And guess what? You're listening to one of those episodes right now. And if you're live watching this on Instagram, you're going to watch me give the advice live. Fair warning, my advice is going to flow so freely, but here's the catch. I have zero formal credentials, just a lifetime of questionable dating choices. 4 years out of the closet, okay? A good internet connection and the ability to Google things. If you're looking for clinical therapy or expert advice, this is not the place, sister. Seriously, consider this advice as what I would do, not what you should do. No liability accepted for questionable life decisions. Spontaneous breakups or sudden moments of clarity, proceed listening at your own risk. But if you're here for brutally honest insights, real talk from one queer woman to another, and maybe even the occasional emotional breakthrough, then you're definitely in the right place. Keep listening. Things are about to get real. And if you have a happy lesbian love story to share, or you need honest dating advice, like you need to know if she's the one or if you should run, go ahead and call me. Domestic listeners, call 337-313-2846. International listeners, you can send a voice memo under 90 seconds to SophiaSpallinoPodcast@gmail.com. Okay, let's dive in. I'm going to start by reading a Dear Future Wife letter, one of the most incredible, single, monogamous queer women inside of my lesbian dating platform, the Queer Country Club, wrote to her future wife. This is coming from Ellen. Dear future life, below is a glimpse of a day in our life together. I can't wait. The soft morning light filters through the large, wide windows of our bright, spacious bedroom, casting a gentle warmth over the room. She's really setting the scene here and letting you know what she's looking forward to with you. The forest outside, lush and vibrant, is alive with the whisper of the wind through the trees. The air smells sweet and fresh, mingled with the earthy scent of my favorite essential oils. I love it. If you're into her, you're going to be smelling good, and she's going to be smelling good. She says quirky instruments are scattered across the room. Guitars, a piano, a hand drum, cozy beanbags rest in the corners next to a swing chair that gently sways in the morning breeze. Salt lamps glow warmly, adding a touch of serenity to the space. I stretch in our oversized king bed, feeling the warmth of you nestled against me. Your long brunette hair, okay, we know she likes the brunettes, drapes over my shoulder as you stir, your soft lips pressing a little sleepy kiss on my neck. I smile, giving you a gentle squeeze as you nuzzle closer. Your warmth and presence grounding me in the moment. This is so sweet. Like, I'm so here for this. I'm so into this. She continues, your skin glows with natural beauty, and your beaming smile is the sun that brightens my entire world. Sliding out of bed quietly, I begin my morning routine. I step into the open space in the center of the room and move my body freely, dancing with wild, joyful abandon. My workout follows, making my muscles tingle with life, and then I settle into meditation. The stillness of the moment fills me with gratitude, deeply connecting with the energy of the forest outside. This is freaking beautiful. This is a novel. I always tell the women inside of our platform to write to their future wives. Write as if your future wife is listening, because she might be. And this, coming from Ellen, is freaking beautiful. Of course, I changed the names to keep our lovely women inside of the Queer Country Club, which is my lesbian dating platform for monogamous women. I want to keep, who they are private, but this is freaking beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. She says, with a sense of calm, I make my way downstairs to our cozy kitchen, the air filled with the scent of freshly brewed tea and cacao. The sunlight spills across the counter as I prepare vegan oatmeal pancakes, adding generous helpings of fruits and a drizzle of rich chocolate sauce. My journal rests open nearby, waiting for me to write the first thoughts of the day. Jazz music plays softly in the background as you join me, kissing the top of my head before helping set the table. Our children run into the kitchen, their laughter filling the room as they throw their arms around us, their eyes bright and full of love. Breakfast is a joyous affair filled with shared stories, little hands reaching for fruit, and your nurturing touch as you help the kids with their plates. We share warm glances across the table, unspoken connection that reminds me of how deeply intertwined our lives are. Later, we walk hand in hand through the forest as we share dreams for the future, travel plans, new projects, and the beautiful adventure of raising our children. There's harmony in how we move together, both leading and following, always in balance, always aligned. Our love feels effortless, expansive, and endlessly exciting. This is so freaking beautiful. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're reading one of the Dear Future Wives from one of the single lesbians in my dating platform. She continues, the rest of our day is spent in flow of creative pursuits and fulfilling work. I write in the sunlit living room, our cats and dogs curled up beside us. My podcast interview leaves me feeling inspired. Ooh, she must have a podcast. She says the conversation is deep and connecting. The impact I'm making through my work is palpable, and I smile thinking of how far I've come. The love we made that morning lingers in my mind, a tender reminder of the physical and emotional bond we share. As the day winds down, I pick up the kids from school, their faces lighting up as they run into my arms. At dinner, we sit together, guiding them through a meditation. Our eldest proudly shares a creative project she's been working on, and I beam with pride at her initiative. There's laughter, playfulness, and a deep sense of family unity. When the house finally quiets down for the night, we tuck our children into bed, read them a story, their sleepy smiles melting our heart. I retreat to the warmth of the bathroom, where a luxurious skincare routine keeps my skin glowing and youthful. You meet me by the fireplace where we make love, the crackling fire adding to the heat and intimacy of the moment. Ooh, spicy. Afterwards, we relax together in a warm bath, the day's magic swirling around us. Before bed, I curl up with a book, feeling the peaceful contentment of a life filled with love, connection, and creativity. As I drift off to sleep, you nestled in my arms, I reflect on the incredible journey that has brought us here. 5 years ago, I could have never imagined this perfect life, but now it's beyond anything I could have ever dreamed. Oh my gosh. For a woman who has so many words, I have no words. That was freaking amazing, Ellen. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to read another Dear Future Wife. This is for the age gap girlies. the lesbians who are into the older women, or the older women who are into the younger women. Legal disclaimer, you must be 18 years old or the legal age of majority in your country, state, or province of residence, whichever is greater, to join my lesbian dating platform. If you're one of those young ladies who are absolutely feral for the older women, or one of the older women looking for the age gap relationship, you're gonna love this Dear Future Wife submission from Jessica. Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm 31. I'm generally attracted to women ages 35 to 45. My pronouns are she, her. I'm 5'1". Dear Future Wife, if you love the outdoors and you have a physically affectionate and verbally reassuring partner, and you love having a physically affectionate and verbally reassuring partner who gives words of affirmation, keep reading. I'm a marketing executive pursuing a new career in aerial firefighting. What? I'm 31 and I live, and we're not going to say where, but she lives on the West Coast of America. I am willing to travel and eventually move for my partner. My current career allows me to work from anywhere, so as long as I have internet connection, I can travel all the time. In fact, I just got back to my place after being gone for 1 month during a trip that took me multiple locations while hosting a backpacking trip and visiting friends. I don't have kids, but I love children and I love being an auntie to my nephew. I'm open to having children, but no matter what life brings, being a mom or being the cool lesbian aunt, I will find either completely fulfilling. I love that. What I do have is a scrappy little mutt off the roadside variety named Seven. She's an Italian Greyhound mix with long black hair. At 13 years old, she's slowed down a little, but she still laps most dogs half her age auto on a mountain trail. While I don't own my own currently, I also ride with a hunter/jumper bard and have a few horses that I ride on a regular basis. Oh, I love this. It's passionate. I grew up with horses and I've been riding since before I can walk and began training them as a teenager. I started riding rein cow horses and cutting horses, cowboyed for a cattle ranch a few years, and now I ride hunters and show jumpers. I'm incredibly passionate about my fellow human beings and the environment, which has led me to pursuing a new path of career and starting my side hustle of organizing and guiding outdoorsy excursions for people. Hiking, backpacking, rock climbing, kayaking, paddleboarding. Oh my gosh. You sound so interesting. While I've always been compassionate towards others, she says, my heart for service and encouraging people to get more joy and adventure out of life really grew out of my personal experiences of being a survivor of domestic violence, being homeless for a year in my mid-20s, and living in the vicinity around Yosemite National Park as an outdoor guide during 3 large wildfires, witnessing the effect it had not just on me, but on the locals of the area, animals and people alike. When I'm not working or studying, you'll usually find me doing things that go along the lines of what I mentioned above. I travel often, lengthy excursions, multiple states or abroad. I'm at the gym. I'm a gym rat at least 5 days a week, whether it's running, weightlifting, yoga, navigating the newest route at my local climbing gym. My friends are my chosen family, and when I'm with them, whether it's going out to dinner or spending the weekend at a horse show, it's fun. When I need a chill day at home, I usually spend it reading, drawing, painting, or completing a project around the house. What a badass. She continues, I'm looking for my future wife, someone to be my partner in life and who shares my love of travel, my sense of adventure, my compassion for others. Now she gets into her type. If you're a tall, athletic, and intellectual type who loves having deep, off-the-wall or philosophical conversations with a playful side, I will probably fall head over heels for you. Bonus points if you have brown eyes. Let's travel the world together while spreading empathy, joy, and healing wherever you go. If you're into the idea of dating a pint-sized brunette with pretty eyes, and I can tell you she has pretty eyes, I can see her right here. Pretty eyes, lots of tattoos, who's emotionally available and can provide a healthy balance of stability and spontaneity, shoot me a message. She's gorgeous. Her photos that she shared adventuring with her horses and with her pets, oh my gosh, like this girl's amazing. The Women Inside a Queer Country Club, y'all go take a look at Jessica's Dear Future Wife. Holy moly, it sounds like she's open to dating any age. I love it. Okay, so it's time for some fun. I think I've got a call For those of you just tuning in who are like, Sophia, I need some lesbian dating advice, I got you. It's high time you phone a lesbian friend, you little dyke with problems, okay? So this is what I need you to do. Domestic listeners, call 337-313-2846 and ask me anything. Or share your love story, okay? And international listeners, send a voice memo under 90 seconds, since you probably can't call me. Send a voice memo to SophiaSpallinoPodcast at gmail.com, and I can't wait to give you advice. Okay, we're gonna jump in, and as soon as I pre-listen to these voice memos, I knew right away, I am not the woman for the job, okay? I am just a baby lesbian with lots of problems, no real advice. That's why I have incredible guest experts on Queer Women Rising. I definitely don't know this shit, but we are going to phone a friend because we got a question about someone dealing with wanting to really appreciate a partner once they get one. So let me call up my girlfriend. Let's see if we can get her on the line. Let's see. Will she answer?
Hey, baby.
Hi, baby. You're live. So, we got a call, and this one I actually think I need your help because you're way more emotionally mature than me.
Okay. I don't think that's true, but let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Here's the call. Let me know if you have trouble hearing it. I'll move my laptop closer, but hopefully this works. Here we go.
All right.
Let me turn it up.
Sophia, I have a question. There are so many of us that want love, that want to find the perfect girlfriend. We want the one who's going to spoil us, who's going to give us all the attention, who's going to treat us like the queens that we are. So my question is, why, when most of us find that, do we start to self-sabotage? Why do people, and I'm talking about not just lesbians, but just everybody in general, it's like it feels like everybody's looking for the one. Everybody's looking for that perfect partner. And if they find it, all they want to do is start nitpicking and going into the past and finding reasons to sabotage the relationship. You know, finding reasons why this person really isn't perfect. Why is this person really not the one? But yet, right before you met the person, you were just hoping and praying and looking for the one. Make it make sense, Sophia. Thank you.
I can't make it make sense because I feel like we've gone through this stage in our relationship.
Yeah, and you know the answer to that. We've talked about this a lot. It's because people are just rushing to be with someone and to replace that void of I'm here and I'm all alone and I'm doing this alone. They want to replace it with someone else instead of actually doing the work themselves. People don't even, we've talked about this so much. If you don't love yourself, you cannot be loved and you cannot love anybody else. People think you can, but that's why you'll go into these things and you'll hit these walls and you'll be forced to do the work, which then causes the sabotage because people are now faced with obstacles that they didn't want to face because they just took their single time and made it, time to meet someone and be in that relationship instead. So my answer is, unless you're doing the work and you're just constantly committed to doing the work, then you can't be in a healthy relationship.
That makes sense. I just just being vulnerable with everyone. When I got to that stage with us, it's I just was going, what she said that really hit was going into the past and finding reasons essentially to be fearful because of what's happened in the past. And all I can do is be grateful that I have a partner like you who's just so willing to be with me in the trenches when those fears come up, Or like I'll mention something to you and I'll be like, oh, like when you said this, it reminded me of when someone did this thing to me and that like really hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like so quick to be like, here's why I wouldn't do that again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so of course we're all going to be, and especially in, you know, people my age or people any age, like that's what I've realized. This isn't even an age thing now. We all have trauma. We all have things that we're facing and we're the challenges every day, and they're all different, and we don't even know what is kind of there and under the surface until someone else kind of unleashes that in us. So I think, you know, doing your work, doing your inner work, getting therapy if you need therapy, if there's trauma, all that stuff. I mean, I think everybody needs therapy, but digging in to what your issues are, and you know, you're aware of them. Everybody's aware of them.
Oh,
they
no,
just choose
babe.
to deal with them or they don't.
People are not aware of them all the time.
I think they are. It's just unsettled. Like there's people that, you know, they're clear, like they have clear issues, and they even call themselves on it. Like they're just like, oh no, I'm, you know, undateable, and then they laugh about it, do all that. I think those people who go like the cheaters and all that stuff, they know that they have an issue. They're just not facing it. They're just bypassing it with whatever, you know, anything, alcohol, drugs, sex, adoration, relationships. Unfortunately, people have relationships because it takes them away from having to look at themselves.
That's good. That's good. You said cheaters. Do you think that once someone is a cheater, they're always a cheater? Or do you think there's like, no?
I think it depends on like your age. I think if you're, you know, like 18 to 25 and you cheated, and I think that your brain just hasn't really formed that, you know, that knowing exactly what you're doing and who you're hurting. And the implications of doing that. But I think like if it's a pattern, if you're once a cheater, like and you were 18 to 25 and you only did it once, I think that can be that could be that person will never cheat. But if you're a cheater at, you know, anywhere after that and you're a constant cheater, then you're a cheater. Nothing's changing.
I agree. I'm like, I have a hard judgment towards it. God bless.
That's an issue.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that like come up for me because I've been cheated on, and so then I will like have fears of abandonment. And that I think that's like both of our thing. Maybe not because you've never been cheated on, right?
No, not that I know of. Yeah, exactly.
Not that you know of.
But you know, we have, and that's the thing, and that's the difference. So people have, you come into the relationship, have abandonment because you were cheated on. I have abandonment just because of like, you know, my childhood, that kind of thing. So we don't know. So we're just like, abandonment can show in so many different ways. So when we're talking to each other and we're having a disagreement or we're doing anything like that is outside of the love and the security in our relationship, we both get triggered. Our abandonment gets triggered, but could be in completely different ways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we don't even know. Like your abandonment is different than mine, so we can't even call it until we're in it.
Yeah, there's like completely different reasons for feeling abandoned. Yeah. Thank you for answering. You always answer.
That's all I've got.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
I miss you.
Enjoy the rest of your podcast or your call or whatever you're doing.
Podcast. We're live podcasting. You're my first phone a lesbian friend.
Amazing.
Except you're more than my friend.
Yeah.
Guess what? You get to sit on my face in how many days?
Catch that. Yeah.
How many days?
7 days. 7 days.
7 days. Okay, I can't wait. I love you.
Okay. I love you too.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Okay, guys. If you want to be next to leave your message and get unqualified advice from me or one of my qualified lesbian friends that I phone, I'm going to need you to call 337-313-2846, or if you're international, go ahead and send a voice memo under 90 seconds to SophiaSpallinoPodcast@gmail.com. I definitely want to help you. Beyond that, if you have a lesbian love story, like you're like, oh my gosh, my partner's so good and our relationship works because we do this thing or because my partner does this thing, I want to know about it. I want to share about it on the podcast. So call and leave me a message of your love story, why your relationship works, why you love your partner so much, or how you met. Just share that positivity so I can put more lesbian love into the world. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read one of the DMs I got this week about social media strategy business from Annie. For those of you who don't already know, I'm a social media strategist, business coach with the online academy for lesbians looking to get famous online, build a profitable personal brand. I've been in this industry for 10 years before I had my lesbian dating platform, Queer Country Club. My work was solely helping lesbian life coaches, therapists, service providers strategize to make more money, leveraging social media. So the question from Annie is, I'm an esthetician that wants to start coaching other women in my industry instead of actually doing the work at the table. What's the first thing I should post? I never really posted to social media before. I'm lost. Should I post on TikTok first or Instagram? Great question, Annie. First thing you should post. Ooh, so good. Well, first, let me just address, should you post on Instagram or TikTok? Personally, I'm a big fan of Instagram because it's a much better platform to be able to connect with ideal customers. And TikTok is on the chopping block right now with it becoming illegal to have in America. So I personally would devote more time to Instagram. As a social media strategist, I'm a big believer in putting your eggs in multiple baskets. I have an omnipresent marketing strategy, and it's something that I teach to the women inside of my program. But at the end of the day, that means post on multiple platforms. And I would first start with Instagram and go from there. The first thing you should post would be telling your story. You could decide to tell like your life story. You could decide to tell how you got into your industry, but at the end of the day, people need to hear from you and connect with your valley before they connect with your vision or where you're at today, like doing better. So start with maybe your first line being like, 20 years ago, I never thought I'd be doing X, but here I am, and now I train women how to do it. Or 20 years ago, when I was a little girl, I was thinking of this. I always wanted to be X when I grew up. And then you go into the story. When you say 20 years ago, or you're setting people back at a specific time frame, you are tucking them into bed subconsciously to hear a story, and they're gonna stay compared to if you just started a story without setting the time frame. And that'd be what I'd post first. It would be my story, with your very first line, your hook, starting with your time frame and telling where you have been to where you are now. Yeah, always lead with storytelling. If you need help with this, DM me strategy on Instagram and I'll be happy to send you my free training. It's a pretty intense free training and I think you'll like it. Okay, let's see. Oh, last reminder, if you met the love of your life, especially if you met the love of your life on the Queer Country Club, please call me. Tell me your story. If you have found your new girlfriend on Queer Country Club, call me. Tell me your story. Tell me what you love most about your partner, okay? And if you are single and you're like, I want a future wife, and you don't want to be single. That's very important. You don't want to be single. You don't want to be playing the field. You are looking for a future wife. Apply to be a part of my lesbian dating community, the Queer Country Club. DM me future wife on Instagram so I can tell you more, or visit queercountryclub.com. Okay, lesbians, that's a wrap for my first Phone a Friend episode. If you need to know if she's the one or should you run, call me. I'm going to tell you like it is. And if I honestly don't know the answer, I'm going to phone a lesbian friend. The number for domestic listeners inside of America is 337-313-2846. And if you're an international listener, you can send me a voice memo under 90 seconds to SophiaSpallino@gmail.com and leave your lesbian love story or your crazy woman-loving woman story that you need advice about. I am stacking some, and every episode is going to have a little mix of crazy, a little mix of sweet. I'm so pumped. I can't wait to do this again with you guys. And Tune back in to Queer Women Rising to hear your next Phone a Friend episode. Ta-ta! As queer women, that's women with an X, because of course we are inclusive here. As I was saying, as queer women, we haven't always been lifted up or celebrated. We have often felt left out and put down in places that historically haven't welcomed us. In fact, we have been conditioned by society to be grateful for mere tolerance. My resilient LGBTQ+ IA community, I am talking to you. I'll bet you've recognized the spark that God put in your heart, your unique calling to impact the world in only a way that you can. A business idea, the brand to build, the coaching program to start, the art to create, the song to sing, the book to write, that relationship you long to build. But that little light inside your soul has often been blown out by the people around you, leaving you conditioned to play small and not step into your full potential. You are not alone, and it's never too late to truly live your most authentic dream life. I would know. I came out late in life, nearly 30, a couple years ago, after being bullied for months inside a country club. Right outside of my weights class, I was assaulted by a bigoted woman who couldn't stand my queerness. She physically pushed me, so I had a meeting with management. I told them I didn't feel safe. I brought forth evidence, and guess what? They did nothing. Sadly, this is normal. But in order to create change, we have to be brave enough to be the change ourselves. So I did a thing. I started my own virtual country club for queer women, a safe place for us to create meaningful connections and grow. So if you're looking for a love connection, networking opportunities, or coaching to live your best freedom life, you want to apply to be a part of our incredible community of purpose-driven, passionate queer women. Join Queer Women Rising, the online queer country club for growth-minded women ready to level up in life and love. To apply, DM me the word rising on Instagram at SophiaSpallino or chat me the word rising on SophiaSpallino.com. Now, beyond hosting Queer Women Rising, I am a personal brand coach and social media strategist. If you give me a moment to tell you about what I do, I can share how I can help you, just like I've helped many clients before get famous online and make more money. If you're an exhausted coach or service provider, ready to scale your business for real, or you're just getting started building your dream brand from scratch, and if you're ready to build your own profitable personal brand, I can show you how in 6 months or less. But why should you take my word for it? Well, I've spent over 10 years in the social media marketing industry, amassing over 400,000 followers across platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as hosting a top charting podcast, building a successful service provider business, and coaching powerful women to build purpose-driven, profitable personal brands. Yeah, I have the social media and sales process strategies that can help you finally make the money you deserve. Because I want to help you build your dream business that gives you time, freedom, and makes real money. So for a limited time, I'm giving away your first steps to go from less than 5K months and advance to 10 to 20K months. Grab my newly revamped, profitable personal brand blueprint, my proven framework to build yourself a personal brand that motivates, inspires, and sells so that your business can thrive the way it should. Just go to the link in the show notes. Whether you're a novice at creating or you're feeling stuck, hitting a plateau in your business that once had consistent revenue, and need guidance, support, and coaching to get to your next level, I invite you to book a strategy call to speak with either me or my team to see if we'd be the right fit to work with each other inside of the Profitable Personal Brand 6-month coaching program. Mind you, I am extremely selective, and this coaching program is not for everyone, and I'm not afraid to say it. I am only taking on serious, purpose-driven, and committed queer women and allies inside of my community. If that's you, book your free strategy call. The link is in the show notes. And if you feel yourself come alive and love listening to Queer Women Rising, please leave me a 5-star rating with a kind review wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to share the show with a powerful woman you know. And remember, when you're called to do something greater in life, love, or business, you will be uncomfortable until you move. So get up and go get what you want. Let's rise. Let's rise.